Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. Let me, let me get the angle. Oh, all right. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. Uh, on this video, I just want to remind everyone to. I know it's not Thanksgiving or anything like that, but it does not need to be Thanksgiving in order to be thankful and be appreciative of everything you have in life, or things that you may not have in life, such as bad health. So yeah, as I was doing my videos in Northern Alabama, which obviously when I get home you guys will see that once I get home and I'm able to edit and put my commentary on those videos, you guys will see those videos. Now, throughout throughout many parts of Alabama, we have had tornadoes hit. Now, there were some heavy tornado damage in northern Alabama, and there were also some considerably heavy storm damage over in the eastern section of Alabama. So now, from what I understand, the part of Alabama where I reside, I don't believe that where I live has received any type of damage. At least I hope not. I've looked at different media sources. I've typed in the county in which I reside in, and nothing showed up. So hopefully, when I get home, I'm not going to get home and have to turn around and call my homeowner's insurance company and take out a claim. Hopefully, when I get home, everything is good. But through several parts of Alabama, there has been some storm damage. Now in northern Alabama, they've had a tornado. Now, what grade tornado, I do not know. How many people died in these different cities where the storm hit? Again, at this point, I do not know. Now, when I go in and I do my commentary on those videos, I will try to look up that data and I will put it on those videos. So you guys will see the storm damage in northern Alabama. So, anyways, I gotta say this real carefully here because of YouTube guidelines. But anyways, there's been a lot of madness going on in this world. Just a few days ago, you had what I will call that situation happen in Nashville. Happened at that school in Nashville. I can't really. I'm pretty sure by now you guys know what situation I'm talking about. I can't really say specifically what it is because I don't want this video or my channel to be jeopardized. I want to get paid here, so I'll just call it the situation that happened in Nashville, and it happened, I want to say, a few days ago, where several people were taken out of this world due to that situation. And there has been many other situations that has happened in recent times. And it seems like those type of situations are happening more and more frequently. Back when you first heard about someone going around and and taking a bunch of people out of this world. I mean, at first, when you heard the first situation like that happened, and I mean, it may not have been the very first, but back when you heard something like that happen in 1999 with the Caliban situation, I mean, back then, a lot of us were in disbelief that something like that could even happen, that anyone could have that amount of hatred towards anybody for any reason. And it seems like nowadays, it seems like every other day you turn around, damn near, there's always someone going out here and committing those type of situations. And I mean, unfortunately, it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, so and so decided to go and take out a bunch of people. It's kind of like you hear it. I mean, many people, they hear stuff like that, and then they go on with their life as if it was no big deal. I mean, it's getting to the point where these type of situations are happening so frequently, it's almost like stepping on an ant. It's no big deal. Who cares? I mean, I mean, and I believe a lot of us, our feelings are like numb. The whole wow factor, the whole how can such a thing happen factor, it doesn't seem to be as. It doesn't. I mean, like I said, it's kind of like we're getting used to it, which is scary. It's almost like, as a people, as a nation, and I guess to some extent, I mean, it's almost like as a nation, we no longer have any appreciation for life. We no longer have any respect for nature. It's almost like we take what we have for granted. We take our good health for those of us who have good health. We take that for granted. And everything that we have monetary, we take that for granted too. A lot of us have the mindset, you know what? I work my ass off for this shit. You're goddamn right I have it. And I deserve every freaking bit of it. But here's the thing. Like, as I was driving around northern Alabama, and I was taking footage of extensive tornado damage, I mean, some of these cities I drove through, you had entire houses that were to the ground. You had entire trees that were several decades old, that were, I don't know, 50, 100-foot trees that just broke off at the root and fell right on top of people's houses and vehicles. So just like that, they go from everything being normal, they have their home, they have their mode of transportation, to all of a sudden they no longer have their home because it was damaged by the tornado. A tree done crushed their house, so now they're going to most likely have to demolish their current house and get a new one built in place of it. Their car was most likely totaled because it got crushed by a tree or it got crushed by some other heavy debris. So now they're going to have to replace their car. And anyone that knows anything about how many of your insurance companies do business, insurance companies aren't going to just, oh yeah, your house is worth X amount of money. No problem. Here's a check. Go get with your contractors or whoever you gotta get with and take care of that. Have a good day. Oh, your car's worth X amount of money. Here's a check. Go to wherever you go to and go get you a new car. Have a good day. Now, if insurance companies did things in that manner, life would be a lot better. But anyone that knows insurance companies knows damn well that insurance companies don't operate like that. You might have a house that might be worth X amount of money, and they're going to try to lowball the shit out you. They're going to try to breeze out of give you money at all if they're able to. Like, you might have a house that's worth, I don't know, you may have taken out a policy for $200,000. The house might be worth $180,000. They'll try to weasel out of giving you as much money as possible. They'll try to lowball you and they'll try to give you, let's say, $110,000. And then at that point, you're going to have to fight with them. You might even have to hire a lawyer and take them to court and sue. And then you got to pay your lawyer fees, which is 33 and a third of whatever the judgment is in most cases. And sometimes, depending on who you hire, they might charge you a retainer fee. And a lot of people may not have the money up front to pay that retainer fee. And I say all this to say that, a lot of people, we get up, we go to work every day, and it's almost like we live our lives like we're a bunch of robots. It's almost like we're pre-programmed to do whatever it is that we gotta do for a paycheck. Now, I'm not gonna be one of these people that are gonna sit around and say F work, quit your job. No. I mean, people need to work. Everything that, people need to work. Working is what makes this world go around. Working is what makes people working, is how this world functions properly. But sometimes, sometimes I believe we tend to get carried away. Like, we tend to put way too much emphasis on our stuff. Like, rather than, how do I say this? Like, unfortunately, we tend to live in a society to where people recognize us not by our character, not by even who we are as a person, but people tend to recognize us. We tend to recognize each other by where we live, how big our house is, what kind of vehicle we drive, what type of clothes we have on our back, how much money that we have, our net worth. Like for an example, I'm gonna use Jay-Z. Most people know who Jay-Z is. Now, if I were to mention Jay-Z, everyone knows who Jay-Z is. People that don't even listen to hip-hop know who Jay-Z is. How do so many people know Jay-Z? They know Jay-Z because Jay-Z's famous. Why did so many people look up to Jay-Z? I would say that many people look up to Jay-Z because of his social status, because of his net worth. You see, Jay-Z has the social status that he has because he's got an extremely high net worth. You see, most people realize that Jay-Z is crazy wealthy. He's got crazy money. I mean, I'm not saying Jay-Z's not a good person. I mean, clearly, I don't know him in person, so I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying we live in a society to where before we get to know a person for who they are inside, we first, we have a, many of us have a bad habit of judging a person by their outer appearance. Like, I mean, on some shallow stuff. Like, you know, like, what's it? I'm trying to think of an example. Like, if a person isn't driving a certain type of vehicle, if the vehicle is over X amount of years of age, the average Joe is going to assume that that person is broke and they ain't got no money. They're going to, if a person is living in their van full time, society is going to assume that that individual is a loser. That individual is a lazy bum. They, who doesn't work, who's just, not, who's just up to no good, basically. We tend to put way too much emphasis on stuff. I mean, like, you know, just like a second ago when I was discussing the storm damage that I recorded in northern Alabama. I mean, like, you can have a $350,000 house, and guess what? If a bad storm comes through, that $350,000 house will be on the ground. It'll be flat like a pancake. Or a tree can fall on it, and the house will break right in half, just like it was a bunch of Legos or something. And although if and like I said, man, if you have insurance, obviously eventually, several months to even a year later, you'll get your house rebuilt or repaired. But like I told you a second ago, it's gonna be a lot of pain. It's gonna be a lot of stress. It's gonna be a lot of hassle, and it's gonna, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to spend a ton of unexpected money on hotel stays or what have you. So I'm just here to remind everybody and to remind myself even that we all need to be thankful for what we have in life. If you have some friends, if you have some good friends in your corner that that truly care about you, be thankful for them. If you got if you got good family connections, be thankful for that as well. If your health is good, be thankful. Definitely be thankful for that. If things for the most part are going good in your life, be thankful. I mean, is everything ever going to be perfect every day? Of course not. I mean, if it was, it would be nice, but the reality of the matter is nothing is going to ever be perfect every day. So don't, I know it's easier said than done, and I know what I'm getting ready to say is kind of crusade, but don't waste it. Don't waste your life stressing over the imperfections in your life. Whatever in your life is not perfect, either take that energy and figure how to make those imperfections better. If there's truly nothing that you can do about it, then it is what it is. Accept it for what it is and keep it pushing. Now, I know for a fact, I mean, I'm not being paranoid here, but I know for a fact that there's people that look at me very strangely because I'm sitting here in this parking lot, sleeping in a van. And, I mean, typically I let my cat walk around. So whenever I'm parked, she likes to jump on my dashboard and lay on my dashboard because, down here in Alabama, it's been sunny every day. So she likes to jump on my dashboard and take take in some of the sunlight. And I let her do that. So clearly everyone that drives by knows that I'm sleeping in this van. They know I'm living out of this van. Clearly they don't know whether I'm doing it part time or full time. I mean, I'm fairly confident that there's people that assume I'm doing it full time, but whatever, I don't care, it don't matter. My point is, I know that there's people looking at me funny. I know that there's people judging me because I'm living out of my van. And guess what? I don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, I know what I got, and that's all that matters. And I appreciate what I have. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. So for those of you that feel you're being judged for whatever reason, think think of what you have in your life that is good, that you like. Think of all the stuff in your life that's going well for you. And when you think about all that, appreciate it. Appreciate all that. Be thankful for that. And and don't stress all the haters out there because there's going to be a whole ton of them. I mean, I know there's people out here that look at me a certain way, and like I said, I do not care. I mean, like I told you guys when I first started doing these type of videos of me living out of my van, I do this because I refuse to pay for a hotel room. Now, sometimes if the weather is too cold or it's too hot, I might have to get a hotel. But for the most part, I prefer not to get a hotel because, for one, they're not, they don't keep the rooms as clean as they ought to keep them. And secondly, they charge way too damn much per night. So my attitude is, why pay all that kind of money for a hotel when I can sleep out of my van, which I'm a pretty clean person. I keep this van immaculate. I mean, sometimes it may not look like it because I'm living in such a confined space, but believe me, I keep everything in this van clean. Even with my cat, I keep it clean. And I know for a fact that my bed is cleaner than any bed in a hotel room. So when people look at me strangely because I'm sleeping in a van, I do not care. If they want to sleep in a hotel that's dirty as hell and pay $150 a night, that's on them. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing that. And there's a lot of people that don't even travel that much because traveling to them is too expensive. You know what? If that's what whatever, I don't care. I mean, I like to travel, and this is how I'm able to afford to travel the way I travel. So, it is what it is. So, anyways, I know I've done a lot of babbling. So, in a nutshell, the point of this video is to appreciate and be thankful for everything you got. Because whatever you take for granted, to include life itself, it can be gone just like that. Your house can get blown away in a tornado or get swept away during a hurricane or catch on fire. your vehicle, same thing. Something bad could happen and you can end up paralyzed or dead. So my attitude is, if as long as you're alive and you're healthy, you have all your faculty works the way it's supposed to, be thankful and appreciative for all of that. And don't get, I know it's easier said than done, but, don't get tied up into the stresses of trying to keep up with somebody else. All right, folks, I'm about to cut this video. This video is way too long. So, if you stuck with me this long, I appreciate you. And like always, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Andrew's Life. So, have a blessed one, and I will see you on the next one.